Panda Pat here, and as of the day of this recording, Maryland Death Fest has announced that they are going to be delaying Maryland Death Fest to 2022. This was actually a tour that I've never been able to go to. Was supposed to go last year, but then we all know what happened with that.
Coronavirus!
And then they announced back in January that this show was going to be postponed once again to next to 2022. But for me, at least all 6 bands that I'm looking forward to are actually still on there, so I'm definitely still going to be going. This will be my first Maryland Death Fest, and I am extremely excited. I've been wanting to go to this show ever since I found about it, I believe, when I was in college. I can't remember what year specifically that I first heard about this, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to go. But today we're going to be counting down the 6 bands that I'm actually super stoked to see. Because most of these bands will never actually do a tour in the U.S. or have never done a tour in the U.S. They just hop on this. So without further ado, these are my top 6 bands that I'm looking forward to seeing at Maryland Death Fest 2022.
Number 6.
At number 6, we have Suffocation. Now, Suffocation I've seen, I think 3 or 4 times. I can't exactly remember. But point is, I've seen them quite a few times. I did not make it to Frankie's last tour. I believe I had work at that time, so I wasn't able to make it. But I've seen them. They're great live. Looking forward to catching them again.
Number 5.
At number 5, we have a band from state, actually, November's Doom. I only caught these guys once before, and that was when they were on tour with Catatonic. I can't talk.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Catatonia. I caught them on tour with them, and for me, they were actually the better band that night. I can't remember who else was on that tour. The band right after November's Doom didn't know what genre they wanted to be, so they were playing so many different ones. Another one was like an instrumental band, and then Catatonia was pretty boring live, but that's just me. I'm sure there's fans of them. I like their music, I just will never catch them live again. But yeah, that's the only time I've seen Catatonia, and I'm actually really excited to see them again.
Number 4.
Now, these next 2 that I'm looking forward to seeing, you could pretty much put them in any order. So yeah, let's just talk about it. The next one is going to be Sacramento. Now, they're only doing one of their albums, which is Far Away from the Sun, and this is the only album I'm actually familiar with. But I'm very glad that they're actually doing this album in full, because this is the only one, like I said, this is the only one that I'm familiar with, and this one is freaking awesome. Such a great black metal experience. I'm not exactly sure if this is their first time in the U.S. or not, so I could very well be wrong about that. Let me know in the comments below if they've actually played in the States before.
Number 3.
Number 3 goes to Necrophobic. Now, I'm not super familiar with these guys, but I have been listening their albums as of pretty recently. I think the first track I heard by them was Revelation 666, and this was years and years ago. I think this was back when I was just discovering black metal in my freshman year of high school. But for whatever reason, they didn't stick out to me like another band that will be talked about on this list eventually, as well as so many other ones that I listen to. But I absolutely do love their stuff. I didn't fully check out their album that came out last year, but the one that was prior to that one, absolutely amazing. I'm not even going to try saying what the title of the album is, just because I would butcher the hell out of that. But yeah, excited to finally see them live. I've heard they're absolutely terrific live, so let's see how that goes when they come to Maryland Death Fest.
Number 2.
Number 2 is going to Dismember. Now, I'm actually super excited to see these guys because they are coming back to do a reunion show for this tour, which is freaking amazing. And they're one of the best Swedish death metal bands ever. You cannot go wrong with any of their stuff. Just an absolute crusher of a band. I know this one's going to be a definite packed venue for them for sure when they play. So, going to be super, super, super stoked to finally catch these guys live. That's going to be freaking amazing.
Number 1.
The band I am looking forward to seeing the most, one that I cannot miss when they play, is Dark Fortress. Dark Fortress, I started listening to them in high school, right around the time when I was getting into a whole bunch of different ones. First track I heard by them was Edge of Night, which was when they brought their newest vocalist, their current vocalist in. But that didn't stop me from checking out all their older ones. Especially Seance. My God, Seance was an absolute banger of an album. And the fact that one of their songs made it onto Brutal Legends, if anyone remembers that game at all, that was absolutely incredible. In fact, I learned a lot of great music that came from Brutal Legends soundtrack. That soundtrack was amazing, and god damn it, do I wish that Double Fine could easily make another installment to that franchise. Granted, that would be really hard for them to do, and it would only be Microsoft exclusive, but I'd be willing to buy an Xbox for that. But anyway, I do have their newest album on Spotify, just because with my car situation, it's all digital, no CDs. So that's the only way I can get access to that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm super, super stoked to finally see these guys. And Dark Fortress was the one band that I told myself, if these guys ever get onto a Maryland Death Fest, that is the year I'm going to go. And sure enough, when I saw their announcement back in 2019 that they were on it, and they're still doing it, yeah, absolutely amazing. They honestly were the be-all or end-all decision for me to whether or not I was going to keep my ticket for the show or not. But yeah, those are my picks for bands that I'm super stoked to see for Maryland Death Fest 2022. Have you been to Maryland Death Fest before? Are you going to this one? Do you have any bands that you're looking forward to seeing? Drop a comment below. And for more metal reviews, spotlight videos, and discussion stuff, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Later, Gators.